A couple of weeks ago, someone approached me and told me how they were struggling with their tefillah, with their davening. And the reason why they were struggling was because of the fact that tefillah, prayer, have the same words that we say every single day, 3 times a day. And the person was talking in particular about the Shemona Esrei. So this week I'd like to share with you an insight into the beginning of the Shemona Esrei that will hopefully help us to be able to say those words, the words beginning of the Shemona Esrei and the latter part of Shemona Esrei, and try to focus as best as we can and have the proper concentration, the proper frame of mind. The Shemona Esrei begins by us saying that we bless Hashem, who is the God of Avraham, the God of Yitzchak, and the God of Yaakov. Elokei Avraham, Elokei Yitzchak, and Elokei Yaakov. And a famous question, which is a question that's connected to our parsha, is that why does the Shemona Esrei say the God of Avraham, the God of Yitzchak, and the God of Yaakov? It could simply say the God of our forefathers, or it could say the God of Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Why does it say the God over and over again? Similarly, in the beginning of our parsha, in Parshas Vaera, the Torah begins by saying that HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Moshe, Vaera el Avraham el Yitzchak el Yaakov bekel shakai. That HaKadosh Baruch Hu revealed himself to Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. And one would wonder, why did Hashem have to say all of the Avos? Why didn't he just say the Avos? Moshe would have understood that it was his forefathers. Moshe understood that his great-great-grandfather was Yaakov Avinu, and his great-great-great-grandfather was Yitzchak Avinu, and his great-great-great-great-grandfather was Avraham Avinu. Why did Hashem have to say each one of the Avos? So both of these are really interconnected, and the Pardes Yosef suggests that the reason in our Shemona Esrei we say Elokei Avraham, Elokei Yitzchak, and Elokei Yaakov, and the reason in the parasha that it says Vaera el Avraham el Yitzchak el Yaakov, is that each one of the Avos, each one of the forefathers, although they had the tradition from their father that they should have this relationship with God, that they should believe in God, and that God would protect them, they didn't sit idly by and just wait for Hashem to simply build a relationship with them. But they sought Him. They looked after Hashem. They wanted to see Hashem in the world, in their experiences through life, and thereby make Hashem God over them. And that's why it says the God of Avraham, the God of Yitzchak, and the God of Yaakov, so that each one of the Avos had a very special and unique relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I think one of the greatest challenges that we have in our society today is that so many of us observe simply because our parents observed. We were born into it. For others, people have brought themselves to be involved with observance and with Torah. And we think about the challenge to bring to our children as far as giving over to them the tradition. I think the important lesson is for us to recognize and realize that we observe and we keep Torah and we're part of a Torah community, not simply because our parents did it so therefore we do it too, or simply because we want our children to do it, but because we need to find the way in which we are touched by HaKadosh Baruch Hu, by God in our lives. We need to find a way to establish a relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu in our lives, so that we can say that we are observing and we're involved in Torah, we're involved in Chesed, we're involved in all kinds of mitzvos, not simply because we're doing it out of guilt, but we're doing it out of love. We're doing it out of a commitment to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to the relationship that we've established with Him. And what a more appropriate way to begin our tefillah, to begin our davening, when we're beseeching God by saying to God, God, just as you appeared to Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, just as you were in their lives by virtue of their experiences, and you showed yourself to them, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, please, reveal yourself to me so that I can build that personal relationship with you. And that's the way we begin our Shemona Esrei before saying anything else. I hope that not only will we be able to make this idea really sink into our hearts, but I hope that it'll have an impact on the tefillah, on the prayer that we daven every single day. Thank you for listening, and good Shabbos.